like two types of people really, and then I guess we moved from there to like a super nice suburb once my dad's business, started picking up. And then yeah, that was a big shift, and like just a shift in perspective. Cause like when you move to when you're in a richer spot, like where people are more comfortable, for some reason like the kids gravitate towards, like that like gangbang, like the Chicago.
For
like
real? That's
they always want that.
Wait, say that again? Sorry, I can't.
So like when I moved to like the wealthier area, with the wealthier kids, it's like they gravitated towards Chicago and like the gang lifestyle and all that. And that's where like the rap music came from, cause like I don't know what it is, but like for some reason like I don't know, I think they just wanted to like be a part of that, and they very clearly weren't. So that's where I started hearing all the rap music and like all that.
Happens a lot in Beverly too, actually. Like a lot of kids like act like they're hard. Like a lot of the kids, like a lot of the African American kids out there, like they act like they're like super super gangster, and I'm like, okay, well if that's the case, you mind if I bring you like out west real quick, see how quick you shit your pants.
Yeah. So what type of business did your dad have?
He has a maintenance company. So he started when I was very young. He started a company, and he was just going, house to house, building, trying to, do like plumbing jobs or like painting work. And so eventually, over the years, he's a hustler, like, because he was very broke as a kid, and so was my mom. So, they had to learn how to hustle, and I don't know, like, thank God, and like everything just worked out the way it did, and all the pieces fell where they needed to fall, and we made it up.
Yeah, so you guys both had both parents throughout your whole life so far. Do you guys know anyone who's in a similar position as you, maybe moved to a better spot, but maybe didn't? You see how they've gone differently, you say?
I know a few actually. I actually know a few. I'm not gonna.
Not naming.
Yeah, let's call him Bob.
Right.
My friend Bob grew up with two similar situation. I have two parents, married since he was a baby. Got out of the hood, but because of that, he tried to use it as a way to make it seem like he was hood. My thing was always like, I lived in the hood till I was 10 or 11 years old. There is no way on God's green earth that I was trapping at 10 or 11. You know what I mean? So like anytime that he would like act like, oh yeah, like I grew up out west when I was like 4 or 5, I was like, bro, no one was trapping for little type bikes. Like, you know what I mean? Like I would always say it, because it's crazy. Like it's crazy how sensationalized like gang life is in Chicago. It's actually insane. Like I've literally done shows before where like in like the suburbs, like this is like before I met Rios, and like everyone would want to do drill, and I'm like, you guys aren't even from like Chicago, like how are you able to do drill? Like it doesn't make any sense to me. So I guess like it's more so like I've known people that like have grown up in those type of families where they have two loving parents, they get everything that they want, where my parents, like similar to his dad, my mom and dad grew up very, very poor. Dad grew up out south, mom grew up out west. My dad moved out when he was 14, was homeless when he was 19, and then became a stockbroker, worked at the Mercantile Exchange. My mom was a house manager for her whole life, and then she ended up doing photography and ended up landing a gig with like Tom Ford as an executive photographer. So for me, like I was raised to appreciate smaller things and to understand that grit and grind breeds wealth in yourself. So like my parents have money, but I don't have money. Like my parents might be rich, but I'm broke because their money, I really should have said it on camera, but like their money is not my money. Like I was always raised that way. If I wanted something, I had to go out and work for it. If I wanted an iPhone and I couldn't work for it, I'd have to get straight A's. That's how I work. That's why I have an iPhone right now, because I got straight A's my first semester of my freshman year of college. That's how like I was raised. And a lot of kids that are in those type of households, like they're not raised that way. Like their parents just give them everything off the bat, and they go on thinking, oh, F you mom, F you dad, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want. And it's just like that level of respect just isn't there.
So you guys would both say your biggest influence on your drive and how you are today, or you'd say both of y'all are your parents?
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
Have they been supportive of your career, music career?
I mean, my parents, like, they're not used to like rap music. They're not used to all that. So I don't know, but I think they're just supportive of me in general, and I think like they know, like I'm 18, so I think they know at this point like I'm really gonna chase what I want to chase, and you know, whether that works out or not, I think they're gonna, you know, at least be supportive of me as a person. You know, if not what I want to do, at least of me. So that's what I want to say.
I think with me, it definitely took my parents a little bit because the music I was making at first was horrid. But when they started realizing that I was really passionate about it, my mom and my mom was the one that I was really surprised about because she wanted me, you know, to just go straight college, which I'm in college, but she wanted me to stay in college and do nothing else. There would be times when my mom would buy me studio time when I couldn't afford it. There would be times when my dad would take me to shows. Like literally my first show, if you want to talk about support, my first show was in Joliet at the Forge. This was when I was 16. No one knew who I was. I wasn't even going by Zaykyro at the time. I was going by like Hunch Jose. I couldn't perform unless I sold 5 tickets. We're on the way to the show, and I'm thinking someone's gonna randomly buy tickets. It never happened. I'm crying in the car. My parents literally bought 15 tickets for me and brought some of my family out there. My mom brought her camera and took the dopest pictures I've ever had at a show. And it's like, this is when my mom wasn't even fully on board with me making music for real. So I feel like my parents, similar to what he said, like my parents, they know that I'm a young adult and I'm gonna chase what I want to chase. But I think for me, it's like I chase what I want to chase, but at the same time, like I'm still abiding by like, you know, my parents want me to be in college, so I'm in college. Like I'm at Valley Community College, getting ready to transfer to USC for the drummer program and music marketing, while at the same time pursuing my music career. And for them, like that's like, okay, like you're doing both. You're at least giving into like what we would expect of you while chasing your own dreams. And for them, like that's all they really ask for. So like I feel like the support from them has always been there. And even my dad, like, you know, like my dad be bumping some of my songs like in his office, like, and I'd be like I sometimes find it corny, but I'm like, hey, like go off, like that's fire.
Yeah. So when it comes to music, when did you guys start taking it serious? You'd say individually.
I think this year, honestly. I've always been doing music. Like that's just something I've always been, you know, passionate about. But I didn't take it seriously until like, really, like I said, like the beginning of this year. Just cause like, I don't know. I mean, I met Zay and like he gets plays, he gets views, and I'm meeting a bunch of people now, and I'm networking, and I think like, you know, it really could work out. I don't know, like if I'm gonna be the biggest in the world.
It will work out for you,
obviously, but you know, if you love something, like why not pursue it? You know, like why not take it seriously? Because it could really happen to anyone, and that's what I've been learning from these shows, like all these showcases and all these like new artists. Anyone could blow up. So you know, why not try my hand at it? So yeah.
I honestly couldn't have said it any better myself. Like to be honest, I mean, you know, I've been making music like professionally, quote unquote, in the sense of uploading stuff on Spotify. But that's what we're kind of as professional nowadays.